Okay. This can be commentary for chapter 35 of my book Metadimensional, which you can find on Kindle or listen to for free as an audiobook on Google Play, and links are in the description. So chapter 35 is called Power Brains. Okay, so let's go back to what you probably were assuming. Before you knew about this theory, what you probably were assuming is that you have this thing called the brain, and that the brain is producing all your experiences. That is probably what you were assuming. Maybe you believed in souls and things like that. But when you were thinking about what happens if you depart from your body, you simply probably never actually thought about what happens to the thing that motivates your thoughts absent your physical brain. Probably never gave it much of a thought. And if anything, you thought that there would be some kind of a transcendent brain that you carry over after your death or something like that is part of your spirit. I'm saying this because the other option. So what is the other option? So this theory discusses the other option. It dissects the other option. It interrogates the other option. And the other option is that doesn't happen. That a machine, a physicalist machine, or just a machine that is objective, that exists independently of the experiences of its perceiver, cannot produce experience, and the experience therefore is independent. And when you're now thinking about what makes you feel something, then you can say that the objective subject may encourage you or lure you to experience one thing or the other, but you always have free will, and you have the freedom to interpret how the objective stimulus you get, how to interpret it, how to for example, if you're let's say there are people that enjoy taking a ice bath. Of course, it's not pleasant. It's not a pleasant sensation, but they get joy from that. So they have the ability. Their experience has the ability to decide how to interpret pain so that it's not painful. So it's not unpleasant, or even if it is painful, it's pleasant in some strange sense. So you have experience as an independent thing, but then you have this problem. If it is an independent thing, experience, it doesn't. The body can only encourage it, but it cannot actually force you to have that experience. And experience has agency. Then you can't just go back and say, no, that's not what's going on. And so now consider all the things that are experiential. Some of the things are straightforward. Like if I touch something, I feel it. If my senses give me perceptions that are consistent with the world as it is right now, and I'm interacting with it. This is part of it. But then there are parts that are not like that. This is like a simplistic picture of how it is to be an experiential agent. There are things inside us happening which have some experiential there is something experiential about them, but they're definitely not something we track in experience. And the thing about experience is that whatever you don't track in experience doesn't exist in experience. So if it's not if it's experiential and it's not in your experience, then where is it? And I'm talking specifically about the subconscious. Let's say you have some repressed pain or repressed memory. What is pain if it's not experiential? Now, this is one way of basically saying that you have other experiential agents beside you, and together, they control your, let's say, avatar, the thing that you are for everyone else in the wakeful world. So you're not just your subconscious, insofar as it has experiential qualities, cannot be you, but it cannot be an objective machine if it has experiential qualities. So you have to, it has to be another experiential agent. And that's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is that the fact that we can choose whether to do anything means that it would have been as possible for us to be that other thing that we didn't choose. Otherwise, there's no choice. And if experience is fundamental, if experience matters, then choice has to matter. Because if choice doesn't matter, then experience doesn't matter. Then it's no longer fundamental. Then it's produced. Everything in experience is produced by the objective substrate, by the body. So both directions lead to the conclusion that there is other experiential agents are both possible. Other experiences are both possible while being the same avatar you are in the shared wakeful reality, and are interfering with each other. Each one of them is an experiential. Each one of them is manipulated or affected by the wakeful reality. So they all have brains, but it's not the same brain. It's not catering to the same experiential agent. And this is what I decided to call para-brains, because it's like parallel or like parallel. Para-brain. It's like brains alongside each other. So now once you start to interpret your intersection with this reality, your existence in this reality in this fashion, you learn that we've been missing a big chunk of theory. The chunk of theory that would address the existence of these other experiential agents that are trying to control the same avatar, the same entity we are for everyone else. And they have their own experience, they are different from us, they have their own brain. And we are stepping on each other's toes, and sometimes we work together, a lot of times we can work together. Like for example, they might be remembering stuff for us when we don't remember them. Or they could be preventing us from doing things even though we want to, because we were both trying to control the same body that everyone else, the same avatar, the same corporeal entity that everyone else sees in the wakeful reality. And when there's things like mental disorders, once you accept that this is possible, that the existence of para-brains is possible, or maybe actually is happening, then you cannot just say, okay, this exists, this phenomena exists, but it doesn't affect, it has had no impact whatsoever on psychology or psychiatry. Obviously it does. And obviously we don't have that in our theories right now. So obviously we have a huge gap in our theories about psychology and psychiatry, if this is true, if experience is fundamental. And this is so. If we are to actually try to simulate or try to understand what we are, we cannot, and so much of what we are is determined by the existence of these other experiential agents right beside us. Even if we're even just trying to create artificial intelligence, we need to start to postulate their existence, and what does it mean to be interacting with them and trying to reconcile our different desires